The humanoid robotics industry is actually heating up right now, with 5 new commercial humanoid robots and Unitree's G1 mass production version, which were both announced on the same day. We're truly on the cusp of an AI robotics revolution. A new high score was achieved on the ARC Challenge AGI benchmark, putting us one step closer towards AGI. At least in Francois Chalet's point of view, the AI researcher who actually created this benchmark and is promising to give out $1 million in prize money to anyone who can solve it. Lastly, Luma AI releases version 1.5 of their Dream Machine, and it looks really good. Of course, a hyper-realistic, high-quality AI video generator isn't really impressive anymore due to how many we've been seeing lately, but Luma stands out due to their advanced control features, which we'll be taking a look at later in this video. So this picture is from a recent conference in China held by robotic startup AGIBOT or AGIBOT, where they unveiled 5 new commercial humanoid robots coming to market. These robots are designed for various applications from household tasks to industrial jobs. Their flagship model, the Expenditure A2, is an interactive service robot with vision, audio, and speech capabilities designed for the service industry. They have an A2 Max model as well that can apparently carry up to 88 pounds, but it's still being developed. Now, where it starts to get really interesting is they have this A2W model with wheels instead of legs that can literally prepare and serve drinks. I mean, we've seen this before, but it's starting to become more common as the competition heats up and the funding increases, which is why we're seeing so much progress right now in the humanoid robotics industry. The other really interesting thing about AGIBot is their hands. With 19 degrees of freedom and almost 70 pounds of lifting power, they're physically able to perform the majority of basic tasks and rank as some of the best robotic hands in the space. They're also very precise and accurate from what I can tell, so overall a very impressive unveiling from AGIBot. Moving on, we had yet another insane humanoid robot unveiling, this one from Chinese company Astribot, showing off the new version of their Astribot S1 humanoid robot. This robot now has wheels instead of being stationary like the previous version, and it can perform a lot more household tasks completely autonomously. It also has really good vision capabilities and is actually trained through imitation learning rather than teleoperation, which I think is the reason for its movements being so human-like. I don't know why, but the Astribot S1 is one of my favorite humanoid robots. Maybe it's because of how human-like it seems, or because of the way it moves so delicately and deliberately, but it's just really pleasant to watch. I mean, just look at the way it prepares and pours the tea, it just looks so distinguished. So China is not the only country going big on humanoid robots. The industry is heating up in the US as well, with unveilings like Unitree's new G1 mass production version. This robot is an upgraded version of the previous Unitree G1 model, getting a sleeker look, a tougher body, and more intelligent underlying software. This version was designed for mass production, hence the name, and it's priced at only $16,000. That might sound like a lot at first, but if you think about all the potential tasks this robot will be able to do, like cooking and pretty much any basic household chores, it ends up seeming like a good deal. It's important to remember that the capabilities of these humanoid robots are going to accelerate exponentially, and the software that they run on can always be improved or upgraded through training, so you essentially have a forever improving humanoid robot. Another area of the robotics industry that's seen a ton of progress lately is autonomous vehicles. Waymo just surpassed their 100,000 paid trips per week milestone, a 10x increase from just 1 year ago. Obviously, they've been increasing the overall numbers of cars deployed, but the fact that they're doing 100,000 paid rides per week is actually insane. Like, that means that every single week there's at least 100,000 rides completed completely autonomously by these Waymo cars, and we rarely hear of anything going wrong. Self-driving cars are becoming so much safer than human drivers now, and they're also getting cheaper too, which is why soon we're going to see an explosion of autonomous vehicles on the roads. We also have Tesla's robotaxi unveiling in October to look forward to, which I'm pretty excited for because it'll bring a lot more attention to self-driving cars, which I feel like people aren't talking about enough. I mean, the safety stats alone are pretty mind-blowing and are only going to get better. In other AI news, we have to talk about this new high score that was achieved on the ARC challenge because it's actually pretty crazy. So if you aren't already familiar with the ARC benchmark, it's a set of tests designed to test out the general reasoning capabilities of AI models. It's fairly simple. It's essentially just pattern recognition and predicting what comes next, but for some reason AI models struggle a lot with this. The point that creator Francois Chalet makes is that current LLMs are essentially just pulling from the data they were trained on, and that's why when given questions they've never seen before, like on the ARC challenge, even if they're simple, it's really hard for them to solve. This is what makes the ARC challenge so unique. It's testing the AI model's ability to actually generalize and reason in novel environments. It's also why Francois Chalet believes that if an AI model can score higher than a human on this test, then we've truly achieved AGI. There hasn't been much progress being made on this benchmark for the last few months. We've been stuck at around 30 points, but now someone has achieved a new high score score of 46. This is a pretty massive leap in performance from the previous high score, and keep in mind the $1 million prize expires at the end of the year, so we're probably going to see a lot more action in the next couple of months. Now, whether you agree or not with Francois Chalet that this test is essentially an AGI benchmark, the main takeaway here is that AI models are getting a lot better at generalizing and reasoning, and the ARC challenge is at least a good way to monitor that. With rumors going around like OpenAI's secret Project Strawberry, which supposedly displays human-like reasoning capabilities, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the ARC challenge is solved within the next year and the goalposts for AGI are simply pushed back like always. This brings us to a fascinating clip of Demis Hassabis discussing his timeline for when he thinks AGI is coming, and also our ability as humans to understand a highly advanced AI system.
In terms of explainability point of view, the way I think that is a little bit different to other philosophers who've thought about this, which is like we'll be like closer to an ant and then the AGI, right, in terms of IQ. But I don't think that's the way to think of it. I think, you know, we are Turing complete. So we're sort of a full general intelligence as ourselves, albeit a bit slow because we run on slow machinery and we can't, infinitely expand our own brains. But we can, in theory, given enough time and memory, understand anything that's computable. And so I think it will be more like Garry Kasparov or Magnus Carlsen playing an amazing chess move. I couldn't have come up with it, but they can explain it to me why it's a good move. So I think that's what an AGI system will be able to do.
You said that DeepMind was a 20-year project.
Yeah.
How far through are we? Are you on track?
I think we're on track, yeah, crazily, because usually 20-year projects stay 20 years away.
Yeah.
But we're a good way in now, and I think we're still
20 years is 2030 for
2030,
AGI.
yeah. So I think the way I say is I wouldn't be surprised if it comes in the next decade. So I think we're on track.
So I know AGI is a controversial subject, there's a lot of different definitions for it, but generally when people say AGI, they're referring to a single AI system that can do a wide variety of tasks as well as or better than most humans. And in that case, I think his timeline for AGI is a little bit conservative based on the other predictions we've seen thrown around, but the timelines are only getting shorter and shorter as we continue to see rapid progress. And in terms of my personal prediction, as someone who's been following the AI space for a while now, I truly wouldn't be surprised if we see AGI by 2026 or even 2027, but definitely by at least 2030. And in terms of being able to understand these highly advanced AI systems, Demis Hassabis seems to believe we can, and I mean, maybe he can. I don't know about me. This guy was a chess master at 13 years old and founded DeepMind, which was eventually acquired by Google. So he's really at another level in terms of human intelligence that I can only dream of. Now, before we move on to Luma AI's new version of their dream machine, I wanted to briefly mention that we might be about to see the first ever AI chatbot to run a city's government. Voters in Wyoming's capital city, Cheyenne, must decide this week whether or not they'll be voting for the custom ChatGPT chatbot named Vic to run their city. We'll find out soon the results of the voting, and I'm actually hoping that the chatbot wins because it'll be an interesting test to see how it performs and the decisions it makes, and also the mistakes it makes in order to prevent those for next time. So Luma AI dropped their new Dream Machine version 1.5 with major improvements to quality, text rendering, image to video, and just overall intelligence. As you'll see here, it's able to generate exceptionally high quality and realistic video, putting it on par with other state-of-the-art models in the space. But again, I mean, we've all seen this before. The AI image and video generation space is certainly heating up, especially with the recent release of Grok 2, which uses Black Forest Labs image generator Flux 1 to generate hyper-realistic images of humans. The thing that separates Luma AI's Dream Machine from the competition, though, is its advanced control features, which I previously mentioned. Their feature called Keyframes, which has been available for a few months now, actually allows you to choose the start and end frame of your video generation. You can also edit the lighting and perspective, as well as change certain subjects by simply telling the model what you want. So this advanced control paired with state-of-the-art generation quality makes Luma AI one of the top competitors in this space right now. Their focus on giving the user more control and customization ability of their generations is what I think will pay off heavily in the long run when these models get good enough to generate Hollywood-level video. Speaking of Hollywood-level video, OpenAI published some new SORA videos on their YouTube channel created by various artists. A lot of these videos have entire storylines to them, so I'll put a link in the description to the full versions if you want to check them out. It's nothing we haven't seen before in terms of quality, but the creativity of these videos is remarkable, and it gives us a glimpse into the future of what's coming with AI-generated films. Finally, to end off the video, we have some fascinating research coming from scientists who are attempting to build living computers. Yes, you heard that right. These living computers, also known as biocomputers, are made from miniature clusters of lab-grown cells called organoids. Trained to mimic the human brain's natural reward system, they respond to dopamine and electrical stimulation, forming new pathways and connections very similar to how humans learn. Their ultimate goal is to find a much more energy efficient way to run AI models, similar to the human brain, which runs on only about 12 watts of power, whereas current frontier AI models need tens of thousands of GPUs. So still very early stages here with this research, but definitely something to keep an eye on, because if they can make some significant progress towards their goal, it'll have some major impacts on the entire AI space. Anyways, that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to leave a like and hit that subscribe button, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.